How is it going, Data Bytes? Is No Data here, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Roblox Assassin. Today on Assassin, we are going to be doing a video that has been requested by quite a few of you. In the previous episode of Assassin, we got the golden chicken. Super hard exotic to get. You have to get a grand total of 100 Royale wins to get the golden chicken. I noticed that a lot of people are still kind of struggling just to get the rubber chicken for getting one win. And again, there's really nothing wrong with that, because getting a win in Assassin Royale is honestly really difficult. But yeah, a lot of people are still struggling just to get one win. So a lot of people have been asking me, how do you do it? How do you get so many wins? What are the tricks to do it? And yeah, if we take a look at my stats right here, you'll see that I currently have 105 wins. So that's a lot of wins. So I don't think I'm the best in the world at Royale mode, but I feel like I have a pretty basic idea on what you need to do to win. So in this video, I'm going to give you guys some tips and tricks to winning Royale mode. If you guys are excited for this episode of Assassin, then be sure to drop a like on this video. It helps out a whole lot. Also guys, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe for more Assassin tips and tricks in the future. I like making these videos quite often. How to get a big inventory, how to win a lot of matches, stuff like that. So be sure to subscribe for more videos about that. We're very close to 150,000 subscribers. Once we hit that milestone, we're going to give away a wonderful competitor blade 2. Very good knife. Be sure to subscribe so that we can do that giveaway. Also guys, don't forget to use star code purple when you are buying Robux and Roblox Premium. It really helps me out to continue making these videos for you guys. So obviously, I'm not in the Royale mode yet, and I'm gonna hop in there pretty soon, probably on an alternate account, so I'm not followed around all that much during the video. But one of the most important things to do, not just for Royale mode, but for Assassin in general, one of the most important things to do nowadays is to click this option, show hitboxes. And as you can see, once I click that, there is a blue box around every other player. So this is pretty important when you're playing Assassin, because obviously, especially with R15, there are so many different avatars and so many different animations that sometimes it can be difficult to determine what part you actually need to hit. Take this guy, for example. He's a little bit more skinny than I am, right? And obviously we have the exact same hitboxes, but given that he's more skinny in game, if we didn't have this hitbox around him, it'd be a little bit harder to see, where exactly do you have to hit, and he's floating in the air. But yeah, when I put on show hitboxes, you don't really have to worry about this skinny avatar. It's basically just hit the blue box. That's what you have to do. You have to hit the blue box. So yeah, that makes it a lot easier to see where you have to hit. So yeah, that's just one example. There are like a bunch of Arthur skeletons on this game, and it'll be pretty hard to hit them without this hitbox option. So it's really helpful, and it just helps you see other players in general. Like, if I'm far away from someone, it's like, oh, I see the blue, so I know that person's there. And that's kind of just an example. Obviously, this is a very small map, this lobby, but obviously in the Royale map, it's a huge map, so sometimes just seeing the hitboxes can help you see where some players are. But yeah guys, there is one big tip to winning the Assassin Royale mode. So if there's one thing to take from this video, it's going to be this fact, and a lot of people aren't going to like it, but it's just how it is. So the one thing to take from this video right off the bat, the most important thing to do in Assassin Royale mode is to camp, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Assassin Royale mode is literally just play lame, win game. Again, a lot of people aren't really going to like that answer because camping can be seen as a pretty lame thing to do. So a lot of people are probably thinking, no Data, why would you say that the best thing to do is to camp? A bunch of people are going to camp now. Why would you make a whole video about camping? And it's like, again, that is kind of just the optimal thing to do in Assassin Royale mode in particular. And I'm going to explain why you should camp in Royale mode and not really in classic mode or anything. But anyway guys, I'm gonna hop onto an alternate account, and I'm gonna show you guys some of the best camping spots in Royale mode, and I'm also going to explain why it is so optimal to do it in the first place. Again, a lot of pro players agree that when it comes to the Royale mode in particular, camping is just the optimal strategy, and I'm going to explain why it is so optimal for Royale mode. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and switch accounts and hop into Royale mode, and I'm just gonna go around and show you some of the best hiding spots, some spots that I recommend, some spots that a lot of people do that I personally wouldn't recommend, stuff like that. So yeah, I will be right back, guys. Alright guys, so here I am on an alternate account. Now again, before I show camping spots, it's probably pretty important to explain why it is very important to camp in this mode. Now, first of all, let's turn on hitboxes. Again, very important. So the reason that many pro players agree that camping is optimal in this mode is because of the wrong player penalty. Now, a lot of assassin players, myself included, a lot of us think that the wrong player penalty should be nerfed because honestly, it really promotes camping. So as you can see, there are currently 44 players, and if you hit a wrong player right here, you get a strike, and 3 strikes and you're out. So there are so many players on this huge map, 3 wrong guesses and you are automatically dead. You just die automatically. And again, a lot of people don't necessarily really like that mechanic. You're not really allowed to take risks like you do in, you know, the original Assassin, and you know, a lot of people go after you in this mode. You can never really know for sure who exactly your assassin is, and it's not really a good thing to guess, you know what I mean? So really, you know, it just leads to some pretty unwinnable scenarios. So yeah, it's a system that really encourages you to camp as opposed to something like classic mode. You know, in classic mode, it's like, it's a really small map. There's barely any players, so, you know, it's pretty likely that one of them is your assassin. And in that mode, there is literally no penalty for getting wrong player. Like, you'll lose your knife for a couple seconds, but you can get wrong player as many times as you want in a small map with 8 players. You'll totally be fine. But in a huge map with 50 plus players, you only get 3 guesses. It's unfortunately a system that really promotes camping, and that's why people camp in Royale mode, just because that's really the most optimal thing to do. And again, a lot of people really want that wrong player penalty to be, you know, nerfed. Maybe you get like 5 guesses, or maybe some kind of indication as to who your assassin is, so that you have at least some chance, you know? But yeah, guys, that is why it is so friggin' optimal to camp in the Royale mode. And a lot of people are probably asking, you know, why are you saying this? Why do you want so many people to camp? And it's really just, you know, don't kill the messenger here. Don't hate the player, hate the game. That's kind of just how it is. You know, obviously, it's very frustrating to die from campers, but in this mode in particular, you can't really be mad at others for camping, because again, that's kind of just the right thing to do in this mode. So yeah, I'm gonna go around the map and I'm going to show you guys some of the best camping spots in this mode. So let's see where we drop. So again, now it kind of begs the question, you know, where should you camp? Where are the best camping spots? So I'm gonna tell you guys that the best camping spots are the ones that are safe. You know, you can't really get killed or sniped at any angle. Spots that are safe, spots that aren't really that popular, you know, not a lot of people typically go to, and spots where you could clearly see if someone is approaching you. So if someone is going to your area, you can see that they're going there and you can fight back. Also, guys, one important tip is never camp with another person, all right? Don't camp with multiple people. That's just gonna cause a handful of issues later down the road. Even if it's wrong player now, that's just going to cause some issues later in the game. So don't camp with anyone. If someone has a camping spot, just leave them be, unless they're like your target or something and you need to kill them. But if you're going to a camping spot and someone happens to be there, just leave them be, because it just doesn't work all that well if you stay with someone. So first of all, here we have the mine. The mine in general is honestly a really good spot because, you know, again, not a lot of people go here. People typically do not go into the mine unless they have a good reason to. And yes, generally people do pass by the mine, but they generally take this path. Like, you know, let's say they want to go from ruins to volcano base, right? So here I am in ruins. People are typically going to go into this direction and then, you know, just keep going here. People tend to not go into this little cave area right here. So, you know, one of my most favorite camping spots is right here. As you can see, you know, it's very safe. Not a lot of people can really snipe me. It's a very unpopular area. People typically don't go into the mine unless they have a good reason to. And as you can see, you know, if I put my camera, you know, at around this angle, you can see if people are going into your area. So, you know, you have this area right here and this area right here. So if you see people walking towards you in this area, you have plenty of time to react so that you can fight back and hopefully not die from them. This isn't the most foolproof. I mean, this angle right here is kind of awkward, and if people are prepared, they can potentially, you know, hit you from here. But generally, this is a pretty good spot right here. I've camped here quite a few times. And again, you really just want to camp as long as possible until, you know, obviously maybe the storm might get you, so you might have to move to another camping spot. But generally, you want to camp as long as possible until there are only a few players left. Because at that point, you know, if you get wrong player, it's not a huge deal. Because as you can see, there's only 10 players now. And now I can make some pretty educated guesses as to who my assassin is, you know, without really dying. So that's a pretty major plus. And that's why people really camp. You want to get rid of as many people as possible so that you can make some more educated guesses as to who your assassin is. And then once there's not a lot of players left, it really goes down to skill from there. You know, you definitely need to fight back in some situations, and you know, once there's not a lot of players left, it does come down to just being good at the game. And I got wrong player there, but again, that's okay. There's only 7 players left, so it's really not a huge deal. And yeah, 1v1s like this, obviously gonna come down to skill. Pretty close match, honestly. And yeah, there you go. As you can see, I already won a round of Assassin Royale. I didn't even camp all that much. Like, I did one camping spot, and honestly, people kind of just dropped like flies in that round in particular. And sometimes you're just gonna get lucky like that, where people just die super fast. Alright, I'm gonna hop into some more rounds, and I'm gonna show you guys some more camping spots, because obviously that was just one. There are plenty more to go. Okay, so we're actually dropping into the skate park in this match, and I'm going to show you guys a really good camping spot. Honestly, this area is just really good for camping in general, but one of my most personal favorite spots is right here. Yeah, this is a really safe spot right here. As you can see, you know, no one can really snipe you. Very safe. People typically don't go into the skate park unless they have a good reason to. And again, if I put my camera around this angle right here, if someone is approaching you, you can generally see them through some angle, unless they're behind you somehow, in which case, you know, obviously, you know, make sure this area is safe, no one is behind you, and then again, put your camera around this angle, and there you go, you're in a pretty good spot right here. So yeah, you can honestly just chill here, like, especially during the end of the game, where, you know, the storm might be over here, and like, this might be where the storm ends. You know, pretty good spot. And there are honestly some other pretty good spots. You have this nice little rock here, so, you know, this is pretty good. It's relatively safe. I mean, I guess someone could come from over here and, you know, kind of murder your face. But for the most part, this is pretty safe. And obviously, you have these angles to see where people are coming. And again, people typically don't go into this area unless they have a good reason to do so. And of course, you have the tents. This is a little bit less popular, but, you know, you have this little area right here, and people can come from this area. But obviously, you have this little area right here. You know, someone can snipe you from over here, so I personally wouldn't do it. But of course, you could hide like right here. This is also pretty good, but obviously you have to be a little bit more careful. Now, what we also have here are the trees. Now, the trees are pretty interesting. You can hide in these trees, and generally people aren't really going to think twice about it all that much. You can hide right here, and again, people really aren't going to come near this tree unless they're going for their target, obviously. So it's a pretty safe spot. Now, this tree in particular is pretty infamous because most trees you can just throw knives through here, right? So if someone's standing here, boom, I can just throw my knife through here. But this tree in particular, I don't know how much time I have to talk about this tree because the storm is coming. But this tree, this red tree in particular, you can see if I throw a knife, the knife doesn't go through the leaves. So that's actually really helpful because now you can just chill in this tree and honestly be perfectly fine. Now, this really isn't the best spot because first of all, you can't really throw knives. But yeah, again, this tree in particular is infamous because of how safe it is. You cannot throw knives into this tree. The only way to kill someone is to actually jump into the tree. And again, if you go into first person, you can kind of see where people are going to you, but I don't know, it's not the best spot if you ask me. But yeah, you can jump around and look at things and see if anyone's coming towards you. So yeah, it's an okay spot. I don't really like the vision because obviously these other branches are blocking me. But hypothetically, you know, you can kill some people from here. Yeah, you can't even throw knives out here. So it's a pretty safe area, but generally it's going to be pretty hard to fight back. And of course, in estates, you know, you have the house itself, and there are some pretty well-known camping spots in the estate map, particularly the bookshelf here. This tends to be a pretty safe area, but I don't know, it's really really not the best camping spot if you ask me. There are some angles where people can get you. You know, if you go here, someone could probably snipe you from over here. If you're standing here, you know, obviously someone can drop down here, snipe you. So generally, I don't know. This state doesn't really have the best camping spot if you ask me, but you could chill here for a little bit. So another interesting spot in a state is right over here. You can see there's a little bit of a gap, and if you go in here, there's a strange safe area. I don't really know why this is part of the map, but yeah, unfortunately it exists. So some people do camp here. It's a pretty interesting spot, honestly. Again, if you put your camera here, you can see if someone is approaching you. So yeah, pretty safe. Obviously no one's gonna get you unless they actually walk in here. I think technically someone can go into shift lock and then put their camera like this, and I believe you can throw through this wall in some cases, and I'm pretty sure you can die that way. But yeah, this spot does exist. You can stay here. I feel like your biggest enemy here is a storm, because if the storm comes like this way, then you're just gonna die from the storm. So I feel like your biggest enemy here is a storm, so you really have to know where the storm is going, where it's coming from. But yeah, this is relatively safe, so for the most part you will be fine here. If you need to approach someone in here, you can also, if you have shift lock, you can kind of just stall your jump like this. If you turn your camera over like that, you can see I'm just floating in midair, so you can kind of stall your jumps by doing that. So you know, that leads to some interesting mix-ups, and then you know, if you're at this camera angle, then you can just jump as quickly as possible and then just stall in the air, stuff like that. I don't know, going in here is a weird interaction. This spot sadly does exist. I wish it didn't, but yeah, did definitely want to bring up that spot. But you have the bathrooms, but there were so many entrances to the bathroom that, I don't know, there's not much to say about it. Here's the center of the map. Don't go here, because there's really not a lot of camping spots in the middle of the map. As you can see, some people chill in the barn. I wouldn't. Some people chill in the house. You know, this is an okay spot right here. What you can actually do is you can go here, which I don't think you can typically go to in the original farm map. But you can chill here, but not a lot of field of vision and not really all that safe. Like if someone comes here, there's really no way to defend yourself. So generally the person approaching you is probably going to win in that matchup. Now we also have this area right here. I'd say this part's pretty safe. In some situations, this area right here can be, but I personally wouldn't go here. Someone can snipe you from this angle. This is generally not the safest spot. You could go here, and it's honestly pretty freaking safe. This area right here, you're pretty safe. Kind of hard to see though. You can go up here to see better, but obviously, you know, you're not really safe here. You're quite vulnerable, actually. And there we go. See, another win. Not too bad. But yeah, that other area with the crates, again, not the best vision, so I personally wouldn't really go for that spot, because again, you can't really see where people are coming from, so you can be snuck up on. Now here in the Arctic base, we have some pretty interesting spots. This spot, obviously, I don't think people camp here, but obviously this is quite open. What I really like is this little area right here. Now there are some angles where people could potentially snipe you, but for the most part, this is a pretty safe area. Again, not a lot of people actually go here unless they have a reason to do so, and obviously you can climb this ladder and potentially snipe some people from there, and I'm pretty sure this is the only other way to get to the roof. Yeah, there's no ladder on this side. So yeah, you got control of this entire area, and you can potentially climb up this area, and then you can walk on this little tube here to potentially get some more snipes. Again, up to you, but really down here is honestly super safe. I'd worry most about the ice gauntlet. Someone can sneak up on you from here, but if someone's coming from this area, you're probably just gonna be fine. You're really not gonna get killed there. You can also camp at the ice gauntlet itself. Some people do it. If someone's coming from this angle, you'll probably be okay, but if someone goes from here, do watch out for this area here, because obviously someone can snipe you from here, so do be careful. So one spot that people really like is this area right here, because as you can see, it is super dark. I'm pretty sure that applies for all graphics. Yeah, regardless of what graphics you have, it is super dark in here. So typically not a lot of people are going to see you here unless they're your target, obviously. And it's actually really safe. You actually really can't throw knives in here. If you try to throw a knife from this angle, it just doesn't work, which is really interesting. I don't know what it is. There's just some collision detection here, and it's kind of stupid, honestly. But yeah, again, it's usually dark here. Obviously, someone just died with this effect, so it's not as dark. So it's honestly really safe here. The problem is, if someone does go into this area, there's really no escape. You can't really, like, this is your only entrance and exit. So if someone comes in here to try and stab you, there's really not a lot you can do to defend yourself. And, yeah, this guy right here, is kind of Exhibit A. You can see I literally can't get out. Okay, we're good. We're good. Alright, yeah, he's wrong player. But, yeah, if your assassin comes in here, again, there's really no way in or out to really defend yourself. So the spot that I really like is over here in this area, because you can see it is just as dark. It is just as dark, so, you know, if you go in here, again, it is so freaking dark, and darker, actually. You can see my face in that other area right here. You can see I'm now completely invisible because of how dark it is in here. So, you know, super dark in this area. No one's really going to see you. No one's going to come down here unless they have a good reason to. And you have a lot more movement options to escape if you have to. So, obviously, you know, that's very useful. So, if someone is going after you, you know, you have a lot more options. And again, it's so freaking dark. You're really not seen here, which is very important. So, the storm is coming. I don't really have a lot of time to talk about this area. But you also have, you know, this little area right here in this little door from the beach to the ruins. You have some nice spots here. This spot is pretty safe, honestly. You know, someone could come from here or from over there. So I guess, you know, it's not entirely safe. Someone can snipe you from here if you're not careful. But generally, this is a pretty safe spot. You could camp here as well, but obviously someone can get you from this door, so you definitely do want to watch out for that. Now, there actually is a way to climb up to the top, and that is something that a lot of people actually like doing. I'm probably gonna get sniped from someone before I manage to do it, but I believe you can jump up here. It is possible. I kind of suck at doing it. Let me use this dead body for a boost right here. Yeah, so it is possible to jump up here, and you do get the high ground here, which is really nice. You have a lot of control because, you know, if someone's not up here, they have to go all the way around these rocks. Whereas, you know, you have a bunch of control here. You can go from the beach to the ruins of the beach. So it's a pretty useful area to get some kills, but I wouldn't call it all that safe because, again, you can get sniped quite easily. But again, you can snipe people just as easily. So if you go up to this area, it's really just kill or be killed. You know, obviously people can fight back, but I do feel like you have the high ground in this battle. And yeah, I already have 2 strikes just because I don't care if I win or lose in this situation. I'm just showing some camping spots. Now, of course, you can camp in the ruins itself. I don't know, not the most safe option. There are quite some angles where someone can get you. Obviously, there's here, and then someone can get you from here, so you have to really look at this area right here to see if anyone's walking up there. Now, another pretty decent spot we have is the asylum. Again, people typically don't go down into the asylum unless they have a really good reason to. So this is a decent camping area, but I don't know, I feel like you're just never completely safe. There obviously are some angles where people can snipe you. Some people can turn the corner and basically, you know, catch you by surprise. So if you're gonna camp here, be careful with where you're camping and, you know, be sure to stay alert because it is kind of hard to find a completely safe area. Yeah, there's not a lot to asylum just in general. So yeah, some people stay here, but someone can turn the corner and quickly snipe you. Someone can come from this angle. So I don't know. Again, if you're gonna camp here, stay alert. I do see some people camping here, but I don't know if I would personally recommend it. And of course, you have the volcano base. Volcano base is honestly really confusing when it comes to finding your target, just because, you know, there's Castle Keep above you, and there's just so many layers to volcano base that sometimes it can be difficult to find your target in this area. So, you know, that's obviously a major plus when it, you know, comes to this map. There are some places to camp. You obviously can camp down here. Watch out for the lava. Obviously, if you fall in the lava, you die. So, don't touch the lava. But, you can camp around here. Again, I feel like you're not completely safe, but, you know, if you do stay here, you can confuse your opponent for quite a while. And then if you see someone confused, you can potentially, you know, kill them. I don't know. But last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, we have the infamous map, Castle Keep, way up there. This map is absolutely infamous for its camping spots. Pretty much everyone camps in Castle Keep. First of all, it's super hard to just get up to Castle Keep in the first place. There are 2 ways to get up to Castle Keep. So, you know, the first way to get up there is this little rock climbing area, which you can see a lot of people are going up there right now. If you're going up to Castle Keep, you definitely want to take this route because it is the less risky option. The other way to get up to Castle Keep is the chairlift, but the chairlift is very risky. You're very vulnerable to attacks while you are taking the chairlift. Yeah, we got the chairlift here. here. I'm just gonna take this chair for example. Yeah, if you're standing here, you're very, very vulnerable to attack. You can sidestep a little bit to kind of, you know, change things up a little bit, but for the most part, this is a very dangerous way to get up to Castle Keep. Obviously, I'm leaving Castle Keep right now. Generally, you would take this chairlift right here. I missed the jump. Can you even make that jump? I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, guys, Castle Keep is the granddaddy of all camping spots for Assassin Royale. Again, it is super hard to get up there in the first place. Loads of camping spots. You're super safe, and if you get the right spot, you can even snipe people from across the entire map. So you can still basically snipe your target while staying safe and camping. So you can still get those kills, you know? So yeah, Castle Keep, granddaddy of camping spots. You definitely want to get up here as quickly as humanly possible. I have freaking optimized this route to get up here. So yeah, I'm gonna show you guys some spots in Castle Keep. Again, these are just the ultimate spots for camping, so yeah. So first of all, you have this spot right here, close to the chairlift. This is relatively safe right here. You're honestly really safe in this area. Again, people aren't really going to go in here unless they have a good reason to. You do have to check quite a few angles. Obviously, you have this angle right here, and then as you can see, this little machine thing right here kind of blocks the other entrance right here, so you will have to, you know, look around a bit and make sure that no one's getting you from these angles. So obviously, you know, when your camera's right here, this covers, you know, this entrance and this entrance and this entrance, but you are also going to have to check for this entrance to make sure no one's sneaking in. But even if someone does get in, you're gonna see them go to this little area right here long before they can actually hit you. So honestly, you're really safe in this area. Don't stick your arm through here because yeah, someone can definitely get your hitbox through here, so you do want to be careful. Some people camp down here. I don't know, I wouldn't really recommend it. People can drop from here, and you know, there's quite a few angles where someone can get you. I personally wouldn't recommend that spot. Now you do have this spot up here. It's pretty awkward, honestly. You have this entrance here and this entrance here, so you know, you kind of have to move your camera to check both entrances. But it is pretty safe for the most part, but you do have to move your camera around quite a bit and be sure to react to things. And now we're gonna talk about one of the most infamous spots, ladies and gentlemen. We have this spot right here. You climb up this rope and you can actually chill up here. I really hope you're not my assassin because I honestly just want to show this spot. Okay, hi, I don't like this. So this area here is super safe. Again, it is so difficult to get up to Castle Keep, and even if you do get up to Castle Keep, it is so hard to get up here if you gain control of this area. Really, the only way to get up here is this rope, and you're so vulnerable when taking this rope. So really, you know, if you gain control of this area, you can kind of just, you know, if someone climbs up there, see, you can just stab them like that. You can literally just stab them like that, and then, you know, they're just done. You can't really do anything about that. And if you stand in corners like this, like, no one can get you here. Literally, no one can get you here. You are super safe. Along with this corner, you're super safe. You can see so many angles, so if someone's climbing up here, you can see them coming. And not to mention, you can just get loads of snipes from up here. Now, obviously, you know, there's kind of a risk-reward sort of thing, because if you're trying to snipe someone, they can snipe you as well. So, you definitely want to be a bit careful. But really, if you want to be super safe, you can just chill here and you'll be fine if you gain control of this area. So this is really like the ultimate camping spot. Now, the very big downside with this spot is that a lot of people want to go here. This is probably the most popular camping spot. A lot of people want to go here. And again, you really don't want to camp with other people. It is just going to cause a lot of complications later in the game. So this is a really good camping spot, but it's not my favorite camping spot. This is not where I would go just because it is so popular. So many people go here. And again, if you gain control of this area and if you're the only person here, this is a really good spot to be. But because so many people want to go here, it's just going to lead to a lot of issues that you just don't want to deal with. So really good camping spot up there. Again, if you gain control of this area, there's really no counterplay to it. You are super safe. You can snipe so many people. It is so reactable because the only way to get there is the rope where you're super vulnerable. So you can easily fight back if someone wants to go up there to kill you. But again, because of how populated it is, it's just not my favorite camping spot because of that reason. So I just really wouldn't recommend it. You also have this spot right here. I personally wouldn't take this spot because, again, there's really no way out. So if someone does come in here to kill you, you really don't have a lot of time to react. So I personally wouldn't do it, but you are pretty safe in there unless someone, you know, comes in to kill you. But guys, to end off this video, I'm going to show you my personal favorite camping spot when I was grinding for golden chicken. This is the spot that I would take. It is this area right here. Now you can jump up here and boom. This is the spot that I would camp. You are super safe when you're in this spot. Again, first of all, you're in Castle Keep, which is super hard to get up to. Only 2 ways to get up here. You are super safe right here. Again, obviously, no one can really throw a knife at you unless they actually walk into this room. And as you can see, there are only 2 entrances here and here. And if you have your camera here, this is a pretty safe area to be. If someone walks in here, you can react to it. If someone walks through here, you can react to it, you know, pretty safely. So yeah, if someone ever walks in here, you can obviously fight back. And this is not nearly as populated as the other area where I talked about with the rope. A lot of people tend to not go here. Again, it might change with this video because a lot of people are probably going to watch this video. So I'd imagine a lot more people are probably going to go to this area. But from my personal experience, not a lot of people really go to this area. So yeah, this spot easily meets all the criteria. You know, it's a very unpopular area. Not a lot of people go here. It is super hard to get to Castle Keep. If you go to Castle Keep, people are probably going to go to the rope area. You are super safe in this area. You know, no one's really going to kill you unless they get into this room. And as you can see with these 2 doors, it is mostly pretty easy to react to this area. If someone walks in here, you can react to it pretty easily. I'd say there are some blind sides to it. You can see, you know, this little area kind of blocks this thing right here. So I'd say, you know, if you want to kill someone in this camping area, I would probably, you know, stand here for a little bit. And then, you know, if you kind of just hug the wall and kind of go in, you might be able to catch them off guard. But even then, you know, they can react to it. So it's not 100% foolproof, but like, I can literally just chill in this area and really no one's going to get me. Again, like, I get mass targeted on my main. And I still won with this spot a handful of times. So yeah, this is my personal favorite camping spot. So that's generally what I go for, you know, when I'm trying to win these Royale rounds. And again, from this camping spot, if the storm gets you, you have quite a few options to other camping spots. Again, you have the camping area near the chairlift. You have the rope area, although that's probably going to be populated by the time the storm gets here. You could potentially jump down to estates and go to the skate park. You have plenty of options. So this is my personal favorite camping spot. This is where I always go when I'm trying to win Royale round. And as you can see, boom, another win. That is 3 wins in this video alone. So yeah, guys, with that, that is going to be it for this video of Assassin. I really hope I was able to help some of you guys to get some Royale wins, to get the rubber chicken and the evil chicken and maybe even the golden chicken. Again, I know a lot of people aren't really going to like the answer that I gave, but I feel like for Assassin Royale, it really is just don't hate the player, hate the game, because camping is just the meta at the moment. Again, I really hope that Prisman changes Royale mode so that it doesn't encourage camping, you know, because, and yes, it is completely possible to win without camping. I'm not saying you have to camp to win. I've played plenty of games where I didn't camp at all and I've won. I've done it in live streams plenty of times, so you don't have to camp. But to get the most consistent wins, you definitely want to camp just to narrow it down so that you can make better educated guesses as to who your assassin is. Because, you know, when it's 50 players, it could be anybody, and you really don't know. So yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Roblox Assassin. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and all those other things that YouTube people do. And now I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay purple.